All right, welcome into another edition of Keene on Sports. It does look a little bit different today for all of you who noticed. We are using a different platform to stream. It will not be like this for the long term, but we wanted to get on and talk a little bit about the semifinals, talk about the finals of the World Cup, and talk about Wimbledon. Fernando, how are you doing this morning?
Doing good, doing good. Very tired, but doing well.
No, I'm a little bit tired as well, but we are gonna bring the energy for the show. We are gonna talk the World Cup, lots of stuff to talk about. I'm excited. Obviously, let's start with France and Spain. What a game! Absolutely. Uh, all you can say is it changed the outlook for the final. I think a lot of people had already written in France as being one of the final teams because they've looked so dominant this whole tournament. The attack has been unstoppable. They've just played such good football, and all of a sudden they run into Spain, who I think people doubted, I think people thought France would handle, but they didn't. Lamine Yamal has beaten Mbappe again. Spain has now beaten, I think, France three straight international tournaments in terms of major tournaments. And Spain just has their number. And Spain's defense has only conceded one goal this whole tournament, and it was against Belgium. But they have just been a buzzsaw. And obviously, they tied Cape Verde in the opening game. But we saw a similar thing with Argentina in 22 when they lost to Saudi Arabia, and it sort of served as a wake up call. Obviously, Amal didn't play most of that game in the opener against Cape Verde, but Spain after that game has been pretty dominant and has looked good. So I got to ask, was this game more about Spain and the way they played, or was this more about France's letdown and them not being able to generate enough offense and get the ball to their main guys? Who was this more about? Was it Spain or was it France?
That's a really good question, George, because you can say it could be both. But to be honest, like I think you have to say Spain because I think a lot of
Yeah.
people going into this game said that France was going to win. They were already, like you said, they were already putting them into the final, and then Spain's just dominated the game from start to finish. I feel like I didn't even recognize the France team anymore. Like they looked
Yep.
lost on the field. They looked mad. They were like just they didn't like play at all well. And you just have to give
Yep.
credit to the Spanish team because they played their style
Yep.
of football. They dominated possession. They didn't get hungry on the attack. They just dominated the ball. That's
Yeah.
exactly what Spain does and executed it perfectly. And I've never seen Mbappe in my life be this mad. I've never seen Dembele go that invisible. Elise played so bad that they took him out in the 72nd minute. Like it's just incredible how well Spain played, and the fact that they're doing this without Nico Williams, who hasn't been perfectly healthy, and Lamine Yamal, who we thought was gonna have a breakthrough in this tournament, hasn't done much. It just shows how much deep and how dangerous this Spain team is. And if I was, and no offense to England or Argentina, but I think Spain should win this final easily.
Yeah, when you look at it, I think Spain right now, where they have the advantage is that they are tactically sound. I think Spain plays clean football. And what I mean by that is they don't turn it over in bad spots. I'm sure you watched the game yesterday. If you watch the game, France was trying to press high, but like watching Spain break the press and get the ball with the 1-2 touch, like it looked incredible. And in the way they were able to break the press down and get the ball into the middle of the field and then get into their offense. It honestly, it was like watching a well strung orchestra. Like everyone was playing their part. It sounded perfect. It looked perfect. And Spain just played incredibly. And you got to give credit to Luis de la Fuente for choosing the right lineups and for having the right players out there. And yeah, you want to say Lamine Yamal hasn't necessarily made a huge impact in terms of you know competing for the Golden Boot and having all the stats. But the reality is, when he's on that side of the field, it's like he's dangerous, and people have to pay attention. And they send doubles, and he has just been consistently there and an option for Spain. And just the fact that he's on the field has been dangerous for them, and it's allowing other guys like use their ball to go and play really well. Obviously, Yamal could have taken that penalty, and maybe he makes it, but he didn't take it. And Spain, and he earned the penalty, right? He went in there, he got into the box, he took a shot to the leg. Obviously, the only reason they get that is because Yamal is going 100%, just trying to get something on the ball, right? Just get a touch on the ball, and anything can happen in the box. So, look, I think France, if you look at that game, it's extremely disappointing. I think if you watch it, they probably shouldn't have pressed that high. I think it was a mistake. And Mbappe kind of talked about this after the game to go kind of three attackers on two defenders and try to put an extra man in the press and try to break them down because Spain is so good with the ball. it was a mistake. I think it was a mistake to do that. They should have sat back and let Spain come at them, and it could have gone back and forth. But yeah, that early goal I think killed them because once you gave Spain an early goal, they're able to play from in front, and they slowed the game down. Right, it was about possession. It was about taking the chances when they're there. And France then started to feel the pressure. And you're right, Mbappe had a cheap yellow at the end of the game because he felt frustrated. And Dembele was non-existent. Olise lost the ball a couple times. So look, and also something you got to think about is I would have started Due over Barcola. I haven't seen enough from Barcola over the whole, essentially the whole tournament, quite frankly, to say that he should have been starting the whole game. So there's a lot of questions to be asked. Look, Didier Deschamps is a great coach. What a run! Obviously, it's coming to an end, and people are expecting Zidane to come and take the job. But what a run, right? You win a World Cup in 2018. You go to the final in 22. You could have won that, quite frankly. You probably should have won that. And now you get to the semifinals and you lose to a Spain team who honestly was a better team that day, right? And Spain, like you said, for Argentina and England, it's gonna take. I think it's gonna take a miracle. It's going to take a lot of help in terms of everything going the right way for Argentina or England because Spain. Look, when you watch that game, the way they played, there was no controversy, right? There was nothing that you looked at and said, "Oh yeah, like Spain was sort of helped in this way." Spain went and beat France fair and square, right? It's just what happened. They beat them fair and square. When I watched that game, I love to see it. I love to see it, and I'm hoping that we're going to get that in today's semifinal. I hope there's no controversy. I hope there's no calls that people are going to question. And I hope we get a good final. But I do think Spain going into it should be the favorite. I mean, look, do they have as many big names as France, for example? No, but they play the right way. They play the right way. When you do that and when you're managed well, you're gonna have success. And they've already beaten several good teams. Like we're not talking about like an Argentina who has not been tested yet. You're talking about they beat Portugal 1-0. And quite frankly, you want to bring that conversation up. Portugal is 0-0 in that game till the 90th minute. And it says, Portugal was a really good side and they lost to a team that's in the final. So, I mean, there's that to consider. And they beat France and they've been tested. They have been tested and they constantly have the answers. So I'm excited to see Spain in the final. Now, if you look at the other, go ahead before we move on.
No, I was gonna say like one more thing. Like all credit goes to Luis de la Fuente. I mean,
Yeah,
his
for sure.
the way that, since he's come into the Spain team, this team has been revolutionized in an amazing way. I
Yep.
mean, before he came in, Spain had looked lost. They didn't know their style of
Yep.
play. He comes in and he just
Yep.
brings a different style of play, and it's been working so well. All credit
Yep.
goes to him. And then having the guts to put Pedri on the bench over Fabian Ruiz,
Yep.
like that's a big call. And it has worked
Yep.
perfectly. So all credit goes to him, and he's the biggest reason why Spain is the way they are, is the powerhouse they are today.
Yep. No, I agree. Spain is right now, if you look at them, they're a well-oiled machine, right? They don't get overwhelmed. They stay in the game. They don't hurt themselves. And defensively, to concede one goal across a tournament where you've played good teams. Like this isn't Spain has not played a soft schedule. They have played really good teams. They've played two top five teams, Portugal and France, and they've come out and they've won both, conceding 0 goals. Zero. I mean, that in itself is impressive. Like that is incredible. I mean, absolutely incredible. So you got to give them all the credit. If you look at the other semifinal, Argentina and England, we're gonna get that today, three, obviously less than 2 hours from now. What are your expectations for this game? Look, if I'm looking at it, you got to think to yourself, England should win this game. And it's going to take, look, I'm not going to sit here and say they're going to because we've seen Argentina somehow squeak these games out and that stuff goes their way. And look, I'm not, maybe it's good luck. Maybe it's, something behind the scenes going on. But England should win this game. They've been the better team. They've played tougher teams, right? They took out Norway. And they've had a harder path in terms of getting here than Argentina has. So England has been battle tested, and they seem to have the answers. Jude Bellingham was playing great. Harry Kane's playing great. What are your expectations? Who do you think wins this game? I mean, or is Argentina going to somehow muster up a good performance? Like, what are we expecting to see?
This is going to be an amazing game. I mean, like, not just both teams haven't faced each other in long, long time, and then this is Messi's first time playing against England, and these teams, let's be honest, they hate each other a lot. We know that their history, the hand of God with Maradona, the problems with the Falkland Islands. Like these teams hate each other, so we're going to see an amazing game, and I think we're going to see probably this is going to be a great semifinal, and we're in for a huge thriller. As for the game, you're right. I think England should win this game. Like you look at how both teams are coming into this game, and England has been more battle tested than Argentina has been. They went into Azteca and they won against a Mexico team that has been playing really well and plays it is unstoppable at the Azteca. And then they beat a Norway team that has had a lot of momentum and in a lot of heat. So yeah, England's been more battle tested, and then but the thing is, one of the things I'm worried about this England team is Thomas Tuchel and how the team responds to his criticism. Because honestly, Thomas Tuchel, he's a great coach, but I just think his tactics, his way of managing doesn't always go as you want it to go. Because I think he made a huge mistake to call out his team in front of the press. And then I think Jude Bellingham handled it well, but you can't do that. I mean, Thomas Tuchel needs to keep that in the house. I mean, I want to see how England responds after that because Thomas Tuchel called out his team in front of the press, and then let's say Jude Bellingham responded well, but I don't think he was not happy with that criticism, and I think we'll see how I'm interested to see how this England team responds to the criticism because it's not easy as if you're a team that's your coach where your coach is calling you out in front of the world, in front of the media. I would be mad. I mean, I would want to keep that in the house. So let's see how this team responds to Thomas Tuchel's criticism. It's going to be a great game, tough to call, but oh God, I think I'm going to go with Argentina. This is not my heart saying it. I think this is my head saying it because I just think the championship experience is going to pay off in the end. I think, I think there's both teams haven't played well, but if I had to choose who finally shows up, I had to choose Argentina just because we don't know how this English team is going to respond to the criticism that Thomas Tuchel did against Norway. So I just think Argentina is more balanced. I think they know their roles. They are they know Scaloni's a great coach. It's a hard one to call, but I have to give the edge to Argentina.
Look, I think Argentina wins this game. I do, and I don't think it's because they're the better team. I think his stuff is just going to fall their way. And I think, look, they're going to get to the final. It seems like this is what that is destined to happen. And again, people have different arguments on how they've gotten here. Look, at the end of the day, England is the better team. And if England loses today, I hope it's because Argentina earned it. I hope it's not because of a penalty. I hope it's not because of controversy. I hope there isn't something we're coming out of the game again and saying, oh, there should have been something to happen here, or they disallowed a goal here, because every game it feels like something's happening. Just give me a good semifinal. Just give me a good semifinal. Call it fairly. Call it clean. Let's not have any controversy and let the better team win. And if that happens, then I'm going to be thrilled. I want to see a good semifinal. You have some of the great best players in the world playing this game. Give me a good one. That's what I want to see. And I'm just hoping for the sake of football fans everywhere. Give me a good one. Just give me good ethical football like I saw yesterday. I don't want controversy. I don't want penalties unless it's obvious, it's inconclusive. I don't want disallowed goals. Let's just play it fairly. And last game I have to bring this up with England too, because if I'm gonna call it out on Argentina, I have to call it out. Like, to be fair with you, sorry guys, the mic fell. If you watch the England-Norway game, the ball hit the wire. The ball hit the wire. And so here's the real question. Here's the question, right? Here's the question. Portugal, Croatia. Croatia guy, the player, I forget what his name was. They're saying his hair touched the ball and that's why it was offside. Okay. So you're telling me you're going to bring that back and you're not going to allow that goal to happen. But then you can't have VAR go review if it hit the wire. The ball doesn't have the technology to tell you the ball hit the wire.
Exactly.
So this is my thing. This is my thing. And this connects back to Argentina. All of Argentina fans out there who are coming at me and saying, oh, stop saying it's rigged. I'm not telling you it's just rigged for Argentina. I'm telling you it's rigged across the board. This isn't just for, does Argentina get a good whistle? Yes. Have there been questionable calls with Argentina consistently? Yes. Does it benefit Argentina more than other teams? Probably. But at the end of the day, I'm not sitting here saying it's just Argentina. There have been other things this tournament, right? The Balogun red card, the ball hitting the wire. But you have to call consistently. This is my issue. And again, that's all I'm asking for. So people want to say, oh, people are complaining it's rigged. Well, this is the reason why. Right? You can't say that, oh, if it hits the wire, it's only rigged for England. Well, no. There's been questionable calls in the Argentina games too. So are you saying Argentina's not getting a good whistle there? It's the truth. And on top of that, let's just be clear. Who are the four teams remaining? Before this semifinal happened, who was the four teams remaining? The four best teams in the world. Are we not thinking that maybe FIFA wants to have the best teams in the semifinal? Are we not thinking that maybe that's a possibility? Is that not good for ratings?
I
So
mean,
again,
also it is the first time since the FIFA rankings have been introduced that the four best teams have made it to the semifinals of a World Cup. So
so again, all of this stuff goes into it. So before people say anything about me calling out Argentina, there's a whole bunch of reasons that people point to this and say, oh, maybe there's underlying factors in this, right? Maybe they didn't want a small country like Norway in the semifinal. Maybe they preferred Spain over a Portugal in a semifinal because Spain is a bigger country than Portugal is, right? Maybe that's just the truth, right? So again, before people come out and say, oh, I'm only blaming Argentina. It's several teams. There are several reasons this World Cup that people watch and say, "Oh man, it looks like there's some hidden agenda here." But I'll call it the way it is. Argentina gets help a lot of the time, and I'm hoping that today we have the Final Four. It's the semifinals. Just please, 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 give me a good soccer game. Don't let me sit there and think, "Wow, England should have won this game. They disallowed a goal that happened 50 seconds before, a foul on a foul that happened 50 seconds before." Or there's, "Oh man, another penalty for Argentina again." Like, let me watch a good game. Is that too much to ask, Fernando? Is that too much to ask? Tell me.
no, it's not too much to ask. I think after what we saw from the Spain-France game, I mean, these refs are being called up to ref these matches because they are the best referees in the whole world, and that's their job is to officiate the match the best way possible without any controversy, and that's what they need to do. I mean, we gotta see this today with the Argentina England game because there cannot be any more controversy, and if it favors Argentina, oh, the way it's gonna blow up even more about the favoritism towards Argentina. So it's very important that the ref today gets everything right because if you're FIFA today and Argentina wins on a penalty call, very controversial penalty call, or something goes on their way that's very, very controversial, there's no way to stop the favoritism debate because it's going to become more and more obvious.
100%. And this is what's even crazier. Yeah, we're supposed to have the best officials officiating these games. We have an MLS referee. We have an MLS referee doing the Argentina England game. Like, what are we doing? Like, why are we not getting a guy with more experience who's
But
officiated big games, who's not? Well, the other thing is this too, right? Like, people want to like if you're FIFA, be smarter, right? There's
but
already controversy. Messi has in these games that he's officiated, Messi has never lost. He's never lost a game with this official. Like, why on earth would you schedule this guy? Like, you're asking for people to question.
But the thing is, George, like you have to choose a guy who wouldn't have favoritism towards Argentina nor England, and I think a CONCACAF referee fits that description. I understand about that he's refereed Messi, but at the end of the day, you have to choose a guy that's not a European nor South American, and I just feel like you have to choose a guy from CONCACAF, and that's what they did with the referee from the United States. It's a little controversial, I don't deny that, but and yeah, I think a African referee would have been the best fit for this game because there would have been no favoritism towards both teams. But and also like an American referee for this game, I can promise you, don't be surprised if he calls something against England because Americans don't like English people that much, and I promise you right now that I would not be shocked if the American referee calls something against England today. That would be very controversial. I hope I'm wrong, but I would not be surprised.
Look, I'm not going to go as far to say that, but look, all I'm saying is, you can avoid this problem, right? This isn't the only official available. You can avoid this problem completely. But now you're sitting there and you're thinking, okay, Messi's never lost a game with this guy. Well, I mean, this is not just one, and I'm not saying he's played two games with him. He's played several. I mean, I think he's 4-0 in the MLS with him, and he's also won with him internationally. So, like, why would you do that to yourself? Like, FIFA, be smarter. Be smarter. Wouldn't you want to put out the fire of the controversy? Instead, all they're doing is igniting it. All that they're doing is igniting it. So, look, you're essentially it's the biggest tournament in the world, and all people are doing now it's ruined. Like essentially, the World Cup is ruined because all you're doing is keep sparking this controversy, and every time you can put it to bed, you don't. So why would anyone be okay with how this World Cup has been officiated? It's terrible. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's really terrible, especially for a tournament like this. It's really upsetting to me. And they're again, people just want a fair tournament, and they are calling it so badly. It's there's no consistency across the board. And again, all these things just keep contributing to this controversy that we have to keep questioning because they give us reason to. And it's
Yeah.
frustrating. It is just frustrating. So, look, is there someone Spain would rather play in the final? I mean, what is the preference for Spain here? Would they rather play England or would they rather play Argentina?
If I was Spain, I would rather play England. I mean, It's simple as that. You would play a European side that you know very well. You face them in the Euro final. I think that if you face England, you have more familiarity. You know how to tactically beat them, and you know who the X factors are and everything. Like I just feel like a Spain team with against England would have more. There would be more familiarity. They would know their roles. They would know exactly what to do. So if I was Spain, I would root for England. I think England will be the better team if that happens than Argentina if Spain whoever they face in the final. But I would if I'm Spain, I'm gonna sound crazy for this, but I would not want to face Argentina because that's a team that if they finally click it today against England, they're going to have a lot of problems going into the final because Argentina on a good day can go and compete against Spain. So if they finally put it together today against England, then I would not want to face Argentina, especially because you never know. I hate to say it, but who knows? There might be favoritism again in the final if Argentina gets there. So if I'm Spain, I would not want a final to be officiated with favoritism. So and England would not have that favoritism. I promise you that. With Argentina, maybe, but I would not want to face Argentina because of the because of favoritism, and then also because you haven't faced this team in a long, long time, and you have to like drastically change your game plan, and you like it's gonna be a lot of work for Luis de la Fuente if they have to face Argentina.
I agree. I agree. It just saves us all these issues, bro, and all these questions are going to be asked if Argentina wins again today and they go to the final. Like, I'm just tired of it. Let me just get a final where there's no team that I feel like has got a benefit of the doubt. Let me just get England and Spain, please. Like, and quite frankly, England deserves it more. England deserves it more. They've played better teams. They had to go to Mexico and beat them in the Azteca. That was a huge win. They beat Norway. They beat Holland. What a great win. They were in a tough group in the first place. I mean, and they got out of it. They won the group. Argentina, like, look, at the end of the day, Argentina does not deserve to be here. Cape Verde deserved to win that game. Egypt deserved to win that game. Switzerland, honestly, could have deserved to win that game. It was a red card that killed them. So again, England deserves it more. And I'm just hoping, like, as a soccer fan, I'm tired of the controversy. And quite frankly, I'm tired of all these messy stands coming at me saying, oh, stop saying it's rigged, blah, 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 blah. Except when I show you video evidence and it looks like it's clearly rigged. And I'm not just talking about you, I'm talking about other people. Because you know who you are. You know who you are. All you out there watching, you know who you are. They keep coming at me, complaining that, oh, every time there's another foul in another game, oh, yo, is it rigged for France? Yo, stop talking. Okay, the video evidence shows this Argentina has had a benefit of the doubt when it comes to whistles. So I'm hoping for a good final. I don't care. Look, I prefer England's there, but whatever. If Argentina wins today, just let it be ethically. That's all I ask. And I won't complain. I will not complain, but let it be ethically. That's my only request. Look,
I
I'm gonna
agree.
ask. Yeah, go ahead.
I agree. I hope it's the better team at the end of the day who wins without controversy. I completely agree. But I want to see Spain Argentina because look, I don't want to see England Spain again. I feel like we will be watching a rematch of the Euro finals, and I just feel like as a fan, I want something different. I want a matchup that we don't usually see every day. So that's why I want, if possible, Argentina to win because I think there'll be more storylines. Lamine Yamal against Messi, um, Argentina going for the repeat, and then Spain finally getting it done after 16 years. Like I just feel like there's more storylines. There'll be more. I think there'll be more storylines. I think there will be more mystery on who wins this game because I feel like if it's England, I feel like we already probably know who's going to win the game. But if it's Argentina, like we don't know what to expect because both teams haven't faced each other in a long, long time. So whoever may the best team win. But if I had to choose one, I hope it's Argentina because I want a matchup that we haven't seen in a long, long time.
Look, I'll say this too. I'll say this too. You people can say Cape Verde somehow is an elite team because they almost beat Argentina, or Egypt is an elite team, or Switzerland is an elite team. But let's be honest. Let's be honest. None of those teams are elite. None of those teams are elite. Okay, it's just not the truth. None of those teams are elite soccer teams. Okay, they got there, they played well, but Argentina is not that good. At least they haven't shown that. So look, this is the reality. This is Argentina's opportunity. This is their opportunity. They've played nobody good. Literally nobody inside the top 15 in this tournament. Zero. The first time ever someone has made the semifinals without that. This is your chance to go out there and be a top 4 team in the world. That's
Yeah.
it. That's it. It's in your hands now. And look, again, I hope there's nothing that helps them. But you go into this game, it's in their hands. You've played absolutely nobody. Nobody. This is your game. Go out there, and if you have something to prove, go prove it. If you deserve to win this, go win this World Cup, then go prove it. That's all I'm saying. This is it. This is your moment. People have been waiting for you to play anybody who has a chance, and England should have a chance. So this game today should be prime time. It should be box office, and if Argentina is truly who they are, and they want to try to put this controversy stuff to bed, that the only reason they're winning is because of controversy, then you win this game. It's as simple as that, and I'm excited to see it. We'll see. I can't predict it. I don't want to predict it because everyone I root for loses.
Come on, come
Everybody I
on,
root for loses.
come on. You're not Speed. Relax. You're not Speed.
You know what? Look, Argentina's gonna win 6-0. There's my prediction. There's my prediction.
Put on
We'll
the
see. We'll
Argentina
see
shirt right
afterwards.
now. Put on the Argentina shirt
I
right now.
Oh no, I will never ever put on that shirt.
Hey,
Never.
Speed. Hey, you can do the Speed curse.
No, no. Listen, it didn't work for Speed. It's not gonna work for me. I don't care if someone offered me $10,000 to put on Argentina. No, I'm not doing it. I am not doing it. I'm just not. I am not rooting for Argentina. Anyways, enough of that talk. Before we end the show, I want to talk a little bit about Wimbledon. Yannick Sinner. What else can you say? Dominant. Best player in the world right now. It's hands down. There's no doubt about that. It's just simple as that. If it's on his game, if there's no adverse conditions, Yannick Sinner, stroke for stroke, is the best player on the planet. Is that fact or fiction? Is that the truth? Is that the truth? Yannick Sinner is the best player in the world right now.
I want to see Alcaraz come back, but right now, yes,
Right
no doubt
now.
about.
Okay.
Right
Okay.
now, yes, no doubt about it. I mean, there. I mean, I feel like Wimbledon, other than the first round match, he didn't really have much of a competition. Yes, Zverev took him to 4 sets, but if you really watch that match closely, other than the first set, I feel like Sinner dominated him. I mean,
Yeah.
played amazing against Djokovic, absolutely dominated him. I mean, he played everyone really well, absolutely answered all the questions about his fitness. He did everything he was supposed to do at Wimbledon. Now, now we'll see if Alcaraz comes back for the U.S. Open, but I mean, there's no one to stop this guy right now. Other than Alcaraz, there's absolutely no one who can go up toe to toe against the guy. And
No.
after Wimbledon, like he answered all the questions. So Djokovic can't compete with him. Zverev can't can most take can most the most he can do is take him to 4 sets. Other than that, like there's really no one who can really go toe to toe with him other than Alcaraz. So I mean,
Well, yeah.
it's Jannik Sinner's world right now, and he has every right to own it.
You know, it's funny. Like you watched Felix Auger-Aliassime versus Djokovic. That was a 5-set thriller. Okay, so let's think about this straight real quick. Right, Auger-Aliassime 5-set thriller. Then Djokovic goes to play Sinner, and Sinner absolutely dominates Djokovic. No competition. Right. So the real question is, Auger-Aliassime is the third ranked player in the world. At least he was he by seed in Wimbledon. So if he's 5 sets with Djokovic, and Djokovic got manhandled by Sinner, what's the difference between Sinner and the guys below him? Right? I mean, if Auger-Aliassime didn't beat Djokovic and went to 5 sets, how was he going to compete against Sinner? So it really shows you how dominant Sinner is right now. Like when you watch him play, there's just, I mean, he so few unforced errors. His serve is incredible. It sort of reminds me of the unpredictability of the Federer serve. And he's just so good. And right now, it feels like the only guy when he's healthy who can compete to Alcaraz. And consistently across the board, I think Sinner is better, just consistently across the board. But when Alcaraz is at his best, that's the best player in the world. Like when Alcaraz is playing his best tennis, he's better than Sinner. But
Yeah.
there's too many times where Alcaraz isn't at his best. And Sinner is just, it seems like Sinner is consistently level. Like there is no fluctuation. If it's good weather, there's no issues with him, there's no injuries, he's at this level. But Alcaraz can fluctuate. You know what I mean? Like he can be a little bit better, he can be a little bit worse. So look, this rivalry is going to be great. Sinner won his fifth. Alcaraz has, I think, 7 Grand Slams or six,
Yeah.
6 or 7 grand. Seven
Oh,
is
he
the
has
seven.
seven.
So look, I mean, look, this is the rivalry for the future. Sinner obviously had the controversy with the PEDs. He got suspended, not that for that long. He was able to compete, but I'm an Alcaraz guy. I think Alcaraz, he's sort of the guy I'm rooting for right now. But I will say this in terms of Djokovic too. This was his tournament to win. If you were going to win another Grand Slam, I really believe that. And I don't see how Djokovic again. If Sinner or Alcaraz is in the field, I don't see how he wins another Grand Slam. I just don't see it because he's not able to beat Sinner or Alcaraz or both in the same tournament. It's just too hard, and they're both so young and so good. So the question is, how long does Djokovic play? Right? If you can't win another Grand Slam, are you going to be happy with just getting to semifinals? Like, if is that okay? Because you're still better than most players. Like, what does his outlook look like for his career now?
That's a really tough question, George. I mean, we're talking about Novak Djokovic, one of the greatest players to ever play the sport of tennis,
Yeah.
and we're asking him right. The most he can do right now is just make semifinals. Like that's
Yeah.
kind of weird to ask him to do right now when he's already won 24 Grand Slams. So
Yeah.
I know, and I can bet you for a fact, Djokovic is not satisfied with just making semifinals. He wants to be winning
No.
more, and I bet you he
Yeah.
wants to break the record of 25 Grand Slams. So I think that's
For
the
sure.
biggest. That's why reasons I still think he will keep playing for at least
Yeah.
one more year because I think there's
Yeah.
still hunger in the guy to find a way to
Yeah.
win that one last Grand Slam that he desperately wants to win. Do I think it will
Yeah.
happen? No, I don't think it will happen. But I just feel like you can never count out the guy. I mean, he's proven to us out of nowhere that he can always turn back the clock, find a way to get it done. So it will just depend
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
how he mentally is. I don't think he can do it, but I feel Djokovic is the third best player in this world in the world. I don't. It's not Zverev. I'm sorry. If you want to say it's
I
Zverev,
agree.
I disagree with you because I think Zverev took advantage of an easy draw in the French Open, and that's why he's
For
a
sure.
Grand Slam champion. But Djokovic is the third best player in tennis
Look.
today, and
Yeah.
it's not normal for him. That's why I think he still plays for one more year because I think he knows one letdown by both players, and when the gate is open for him to go win another Grand
Yeah.
Slam. Will it happen? No,
Yeah.
because I honestly think that there will be one guy who will not have that slip up. And
Yep.
I feel like his best opportunity to do was at the French Open, where we didn't see Alcaraz. Sinner went out in the second round.
Yep.
The doors were open for him to finally win a Grand Slam, and he did not take the chance. So
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't. So I just think if I just think that like it's over for him. I don't see him winning another Grand Slam, but I feel like he can try to go for it. I think he can do it.
I think he'll play another year. I do believe that. I think again he's gonna hope that somebody slips up. But you're right. The French Open was his shot, and he lost to Fonseca. Like that was his tournament. If he had beaten Fonseca and he was able, that was the one. If you're gonna win the 25th, that was the one you had to win it at because it's only gonna get harder. Especially if you're not gonna. Those don't happen very often where those top guys fall out. So look, I think it's unlikely he wins his 25th. It's just the truth. But I think he'll play another year because he's still better than 99% of players. It's just, I mean, it's just the way it is. He's the third best player in the world. I agree. But I'm not going to discount Zverev though. Like Zverev earned the French Open, and let's not pretend that Djokovic, Federer, and Nadal each time they won a tournament they beat the best players in the world. Like uh, Djokovic, for example, Federer in 2009 French Open, Soderling beats Nadal. Federer wins the French Open. If Nadal's in the French Open final, who knows if Federer wins that French Open, right? So again, stuff like this happens. Djokovic is path to the what's it called? To these Grand Slams finals. Like he's not always playing the best players in the world, right? Sometimes he has a letdown and loses to someone he should have beaten. So I'm going to give credit to Zverev. Zverev right now, he's getting better. This is the furthest he's ever been in Wimbledon, the furthest ever, right? And he played well. Sinner is just a better player. So I'm hoping Zverev continues to get better, and I hope he becomes a big three. I mean, I think Zverev has that potential, and he's playing much better tennis now. I think the monkey's off his back, and he's playing at a higher level. So I'm hoping to see that he can win another Grand Slam. And I think the U.S. Open will be good. I really hope Alcaraz comes back. I've seen those reports that there's a chance that maybe he's starting to get hit a little bit harder. The doctors have cleared him. But man, dude, the tennis world needs Alcaraz. I miss him. I really do. I mean, the sport's better with him.
Couldn't agree more. Definitely, we need Alcaraz to come back
Oh,
because I think we need to see that
yeah,
rivalry. And we haven't seen an Alcaraz Sinner final in a year, and I really want to see that again because I think those finals are just so exhilarating to watch.
literally. And you know what? Instead of the trivia question of the day before we close out, I'm gonna ask for your opinion here. Who's the GOAT, Fernando? Who's the tennis GOAT? Give me the GOAT. Who's the GOAT?
I'm gonna say Roger Federer. I mean, he's won the most Wimbledons. He's been that he revolutionized the game of tennis. I mean,
For
he
sure.
was the first guy to really make a big impact in tennis before
Yep.
Nadal did it and before Djokovic. I just feel like if we're gonna
Yep.
talk about goats, like who revolutionized the sport more than anybody, and you have to give
Yep.
that to Roger Federer. I mean, he's the one who like made the one-handed backhand one of the greatest weapons in all sports. It's dying,
Yep.
but I mean, we'll never see a backhand as good as Roger Federer's ever again. And I
Oh,
mean,
for sure.
and
Yeah.
I mean, he had a complete game. Like that guy could have easily
Yeah.
won more than 20 Grand Slams, but it's just that Djokovic and
Yep.
Nadal were in his way. But I mean, looking top to bottom, like even though he has less Grand Slams, like I just think it's still Roger Federer.
Yeah. And even injuries too play a part, right? And the thing is, like, before we close the show, I'll say this: like, you have to understand in sports, the new bar is what people reach for, right? Let's say it was vice versa. Let's say Djokovic came first, then Nadal, then Federer. what's to say Federer wouldn't have the most Grand Slams, right? Because Federer set the bar. Then Nadal saw Federer and said, let me get better than Federer. That's why I need to beat to win Grand Slams. Then Djokovic came last and said, okay, Federer and Nadal, that's my bar. I have to go beat Nadal. Let me set the new bar, right? So again, like this is just the order in which they came. And Federer was 6 years older. So he was playing these guys. Uh, Quite frankly, when Djokovic is younger, he's going to have the advantage when he goes head to head against Federer. But I agree with you. I think Federer's the go. Roger Federer's my guy. Like I'm always gonna root for him. I think he just changed the game. He revolutionized it, and you know people love him, right? He's humble. He's elegant. The way it's a gentleman's sport, and Federer played the game that way. Djokovic, a lot of the times, it feels like he doesn't play it that way, and that obviously there's a bunch of reasons for that. But it's hard to like Djokovic. It's just the truth. But yeah, I'm
I
agree
couldn't
with
agree
you.
more. I don't like that
Yeah,
guy at all. And
no, it's so
I think his
annoying.
tactic, and I just think his tactics on the court, on the tennis court, are just
Yeah,
like a little bit too exaggerated. Like you don't
yeah.
have to go like stringing the violin to the crowd, like taunting to the crowd. Like just play the
Well,
sport. Like
yeah,
who cares?
yeah,
Like
yeah.
just play.
And the theatrics too. Like every time he somehow loses a point, like it's always the other guy getting lucky, right? It's never that somebody's better. It's like, oh man, how did he hit that shot? Like how ridiculous, bro? Maybe he's just a good player and he hit the shot. Like it's just it always feels like there's some reason. Or every match it feels like he's getting hurt. Like he'll grab his leg and think, the other he's trying to like get his opponent to take their foot off the gas. Oh yeah, Djokovic is hurt. Let me take it easy. Like you never saw that with Federer Nadal. So it's just that's why I can't support that.
And I think the thing that annoys me the most is you see him break rackets a lot. Like we saw him break
I
it
know.
In a Wimbledon final. We saw him break it in so many other times. So like I never saw Nadal or Roger Federer do it because they always stayed composed and calm.
Yeah.
Even when they were like mad, they always stayed composed and did not rile up the crowd. So this is another
Yeah.
reason why I give Roger Federer the edge because
Yeah.
he was a people's favorite and he was the guy who was always composed.
100%. 100%. Could not agree more. Anyways, we're going to close the show on that. Fernando, thank you for joining me. It was always a pleasure, as always, having you on the show. Guys, thanks for tuning in. Follow, like, and subscribe on YouTube. Follow the Instagram. Lately I've been super busy. Haven't been able to post as much, but I'm going to try and keep it consistent. I appreciate all your support. And not Fernando, listen, enjoy this World Cup semifinal and have a good day, man. Thanks for joining me.
Thank you too. Have a good one. Enjoy the game.
All right, guys. Go England.
This guy.